everyone, and thanks for joining. Episode 1, I suppose, of Indian Rock Adventures. I'm showing the hero of our story here, Cookie. I'll be following her along. That's my dog there. Cookie, hi, you want to say hi?
Oh, it's a good dog.
Okay, let's get going. I'm going to start off here. We just kind of entered the trails, and the trail that we're on right now is called the Red Blue Trail, and we'll follow this for a little bit here. All right, you ready to go? Thanks for being patient with me. All right, this is Cookie, everyone. Good dog. Okay, let's go. All right. She'll run along in front of me for the most part here, but you'll see every once in a while she gets a little far, and then she'll stop and run back. She's probably wondering who I'm talking to right now. Okay, let's go. Good dog. So the Red Blue Trail continues up there. We're not going to go that way this time. We're going to go this way, and this trail here is called Indian Rock Trail. Okay, so I just changed my zoom, and let's get going. There she goes. We had a lot of rain this year, so it's gotten really wet through here. You can see you kind of have to step across it here. So what I do is I shimmy across this branch here and see that rock there. I'll just take a step here on the rock, get over. And Cookie does not, she just runs right through. You sneezing? Okay, you ready to go? Good doggy. So these are the trails in Franklin. This is the place of the first Indian War, and it was with the Wampanoag tribe. King Philip's War is what it's called. It took place 1675 to 1676, and it was really the natives' effort to stop English settlement. So King Philip, also known as Metacom, this was one of his big battles. I don't know if he was here or not. He certainly didn't die here. He was like fighting throughout Massachusetts and a lot of Rhode Island, and there's markers for him throughout the state. We are in the trails called Indian Rock, and if you look at the streets around us, Wampanoag is one of the streets. Metacom is nearby. We came into the trails closer to the Norfolk end of the trails, and we're going to progress our way towards Jordan Road. So right now we are on Indian Rock Trail is the official name of this one. There's a few turns and options, and over the course of these filmings I'll walk you through each one of them. Here's a beautiful spot. This is an Indian Rock. I'm going to take us over Indian Rock today, but you can see it's a nice little ridge, steep, you know, looking over the edge here, and we're pretty high up in the trees, but it's just beautiful here. These are really nice hiking trails. And there goes my dog. You see her off there? She'll get in front of me, but there's a certain points that she'll wait for me. Won't get too far ahead. And when I call her, she comes racing back. You'll see. There she goes. A little chilly out today. You can actually see her breath, and had to put her coat on. But the sun is shining. It's actually, while it's cold, it's just a beautiful day. There she goes. Easy to track her with the coat on. Oh, so behind us, the street that's back that way, off that little ledge I stopped in, that's Lost Trail. And just so you kind of get your bearings, if you were to kind of look this up on one of those map apps, we're cutting right into where the two streets of, one's called Indian Lane, and that comes right off Jordan, and it's a dead end, turns into a cul-de-sac, and off it is another street called King Philip. Obviously both streets aptly named, and it's got, I don't know, maybe 10 houses on it, and ends in a cul-de-sac, which is probably the main entry point into these trails. Most people that I run into when I'm hiking through here, that's the way they come. We're very close to Indian Rock here. And you can see, if you can notice that there's houses through the trees here, that's the end of Indian Lane. Cookie, you gonna wait for me? Wait, Cookie. Cookie. It's more fun when she gets behind me by a bit, she races up past me. When she's up front, she'll just kind of stand and wait for me. And with the exception of that little bit of water that I had to kind of walk around, I think we're going to be dry the rest of the way. That's the last spot to dry up. We got some rain over Christmas and the preceding week. It's early January now. And I got a GoPro for Christmas. Had some friends visiting. I grew up in the Toronto area, and some friends from Canada were down. And our backyard actually goes onto these trails. So I said, oh, let's take them back here. And we went hiking one day, and they were so impressed with it that one of my buddies suggested, man, get a GoPro and film this. This is nice. So, okay. Why I'm stopping here is that's Indian Rock in front of us. So the street here is Indian Lane, and when we get up here, you'll see where the street of King Philip is. And if you want to visit Indian Rock yourself, as I say, the trails are beautiful. They're not dangerous. I'll show you some of the watch out points. But drive to the end of King Philip, and that's the easiest way to get in. She'll wait for me at the top of this little climb here. You know, steep but not bad, right? There's Indian Rock again. And the houses in the street down there is King Philip. So if you get this far, let's just look down here. If you follow this trail down the hill, that'll take you right to where you can enter from King Philip. We're going to go over the hill. So look at Cookie, good dog. So let's climb this. And get to the top of Indian Rock here. Okay, we're at the top of Indian Rock. This little puddle of water is always here, and you can see it's actually iced over today. I'll walk up to the edge here so you can see it from up top. And really how high we are, so that's level. You know, we're right at the treetops here. The path we came from, if you can catch it there, is right through those trees there. And this is where the battle took place. The first Indian Wars in America, right here. Or the whole war was around here, but one of the major battles was right here. And what happened, I'm going to just kind of walk around Indian Rock so you can see. That's where I came from. So we came up that way and this way. And there's my good dog right there. Cookie, star of the show. And when we left that trail there, that was called the Indian Rock Trail. We're cutting over the top of Indian Rock now. And this is called the Blue Ridge Trail. It's really nice. At one point, the Boy Scouts came through here, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago. And they ended up marking it. If you can see that tree there, there's a marker, a blue rock marker on that tree. I'll point a couple of them out to you. If you ever, you know, as I say, if you hike here, they're great trails. And the one that we're going down now, the Blue Ridge Trail, this is the most perilous, but it's not that perilous. You can see here's another edge here. Probably that area where I was, that's the steepest. And maybe, you know, a couple minutes earlier, that other big rock. Massachusetts just has rock everywhere, including our backyard. You know, there's an easy path down here, so I'll kind of take you down here. Just got to watch your step in these spots. Watch how fast Cookie runs when I get down here and I call her. She's standing around at the top of Indian Rock right now. Oh, she's got a bit of a cold or something. She's been kind of a little slower today than normal. Let's get here and call her. Cookie! 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 Here she comes. Who's a fast doggy? Who's a fast doggy? Oh, the good doggy. Doggy, doggy, doggy. Oh, yeah, so there she goes. Okay. Okay, let's go. Good doggy. Good doggy. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Oh, good dog. Who's running? Fast doggy. You can see this one climbs. Oh, it's really funny. This little rock face in front of me, when she's really pumped, she climbs right up this thing. But we're going to take this little easier route here. And she's wondering, she's not used to the camera. We come by here every day. You know, once the snow sets in, if we get any snow, we didn't get any last year, I'd take our walk to the street. So I walk kind of through the neighborhoods down Jordan Road, about a 2-mile walk, and then use these trails here to cut through to get back to my house. And this actually takes me right to my house. And it's nice. She's such a good dog. I can take the leash off her and let her just kind of play around and run through here. Okay, let's go. Good dog. Good doggy. There's one of the markers here on the tree. So you can't get lost. As they say, there's a lot of turns and whatnot, but it's pretty straightforward. We're still descending down from the other side of Indian Rock. I don't think the camera really gives you steepness and height perspective. I'm as amateur as they come with these things. So I'll kind of talk you through a lot of it. If you don't have good shoes, this ledge right here is probably the toughest. So I'll face it down. The good thing is you can see all the rocks here. They're very porous and makes for good grip. So, but if you got slippery shoes, I could see you slipping through here. I never have. You just want to have decent treads. Okay, you ready to go? Let's go, Cookie. Come on, give us a big run. Give us a big run. There she goes. Good doggy. And you can see, I don't know if you get, here's level, so you can just kind of see, not too steep, not crazy steep, but a little steep. But once we kind of get down to the bottom of this, we're relatively flat the rest of the way. So the battle, it is currently the town of Franklin, but it was Wrentham Village back when the battle took place. And when I cite facts to you, let's just say I'll have at least 2 sources confirming, sorry. I think there's a lot of legend back here too. And I've never really seen anything sanctioned by the government where they put some historians in here and said, okay, document this. But there's websites out there. And I figure, okay, if I see it published in 2 different places, that's what I'm going to tell you. I guess there's a chance I'm wrong. The battle was in Wrentham Village at the time, right through this forest. And the settlers got wind that there was going to be an attack by King Philip, Metacom's army, the Wampanoag tribe, in the village the next day. And they came, the settlers, and there was about a dozen of them, and ambushed the tribe, and there was about 24 of them. These are the numbers I've seen, and they're probably close enough. And it was a pretty decisive defeat by the settlers, clearly winning the battle. As I say, Metacom, King Philip, did not die in that battle, but this was a big one. This is one of the earliest wars. You know, if you look at Franklin again on the maps, you know, we're not that far from the ocean. A little far, but not crazy, right? Plymouth Rock, and Plymouth Plantation, and New Bedford and Cape Cod and all that stuff, they're not that far, which makes for great vacations. We moved out here in 2006. The path I was originally on then, the very first blue-red trail that we're only on for a minute, if I was to take that, I would come out this way. Here's where we just came, the Blue Ridge Trail, and turning around again back onto the Blue Red Trail. And clearly our markers are indicating that. And where's my doggy? She'll get up ahead, but once she gets too far, she'll stop and just kind of wait. And then I'm talking now too, so she can hear my voice. But once she kind of is cool that I'm behind, there she goes. And she saw me, she stopped, and then she started running again. I don't know if I caught that. But once she's kind of, okay, there you are, she'll kind of run up ahead, and she just likes to go off trail and sniff things and everything. So you can see we're still on the Blue Red Trail. And I'm going to I'll give you some history, obviously, and this is the first episode, so I'll give you history. But I used to tell stories through here. This was Mummy's sitting tree. Oh, she's way up there. If you take this, go straight, so we just came down here from the Blue Red Trail. This is called the Easy Blue here. And if you go straight, that'll take you right to the mouth of King Philip. So the shortcut straight down from Indian Rock will take you to the same spot. We're going to go this way. It's towards our house. And it's usually our best chance of seeing deer. I've seen deer in every spot. The reason I believe this is the best chance is because when we get up around the bend here, there's a little valley below us. And you can just see so far. I don't think dead deer hang out in one spot more than the other. Although there is a beautiful river that we're going to come up to. It's just that you can see so far from here that you have a better chance of seeing them. So some of the stories I'll tell you. When we moved here, my daughter was 8 months, and we discovered these trails. And one time we just hopped one of those brick fences that you see in New England and did some exploring. She was probably about 3, and we didn't even know these trails were back here. Oh, there she goes. She's way up there now. I'll call her. She'll come running up soon. And let me pause for a second here, because you can appreciate that whole valley there. You really see distance. And you can kind of come up on deer sometime, even surprising them. So before we go down this last hill, if you look there, and I'm going to pause it and zoom in, there's my dog going. You can see where she's running. I'm going to pause it. I have to pause it to actually zoom, but that's the trail that we're getting on in a second. Okay, so that's zoomed in, the same spot. Off in the distance there. Maybe if I raise it a little bit and get over those branches. That's it there. The GoPro's pretty cool. I wish I could, I'll walk with it zoomed in for a little while. I wish I could kind of zoom in while I'm taping. And I actually would like it if I could actually project to my phone. I've put the app on my phone and everything, but it only projects to your phone when you're not taping. As soon as you go live, I think it was memory, or I don't know, bandwidth or something like that. I'm not sure. And let me get down to the bottom here, and then I'll give her a good yell. And you'll watch her come tearing. She's so fast. And she's 10. I take her for a walk every day, though. It's about 3 miles. And yeah, for 10, she motors around really good. Cookie! That's the other side. I won't dwell on the houses, but that's the other border. So we had Indian Lane and King Philip streets on that side, and then this is, I believe, Crestwood and Juniper, the streets on the other side here, all off Jordan Road. Not nice for me to zoom in on someone's house, so I won't do that. But it gives you an idea of where we're at. Cookie! Cookie! Where's Cookie? Actually really got in front of me today. Where's Cookie? This is the trail I was showing you from the top of the hill. And there's the hill back there. So that's where I paused before and zoomed in. Now we're down here. Cookie! Cookie! I hear her. Oh, here she comes. Cookie! Cookie, come on! Come on! Let's go, Cookie! Cookie, come here! She's waiting for me. Oh, this isn't like her. I think the camera's got her a little bit spooked. Cookie, come on! Oh, here she comes. Here's a fast dog. Who's coming? Who's fast? Who's the fast doggy? Oh, she stopped and waited again. Okay, well, thank you for waiting. It was a good dog. Okay, you get a good shake in? Let's keep going. Good doggy. Yeah, her tail's usually straight up. It's not tucked, but she just doesn't know what I'm doing, I guess. It's usually just the two of us back here. My wife comes on weekends, actually. But just the two of us back here. And she just loves it. It's like her playground. We're really coming up near the end, though. Once we get through this trail, and actually I think the map, and I copied this just so you can see it. I created a little cheat sheet for myself. I don't think it's entirely accurate, the one that I found online. I believe the names are. Maybe what I'll do is get one of those walk apps and map it out more formally, walk in them all, and see if I can figure out a way to create a map that's a little more accurate. So here's the ridge. Some people come in off Crestwood down through there, and I've met a bunch of folks here. I think that's Crestwood there. I'm pretty sure it is. That's off Jordan Road. Actually, a nice horse lives in one of these houses, which you see every once in a while. But you can see this ridge here. I'll pause right at the top. There's a river that we're going to cross soon. So that valley down there, I see deer down there frequently too. And we've been a little loud, so we freaked them out. But that river, I don't know if it's got a name, but it flows into the Charles. And the Charles, we're in Franklin, and the Charles starts in Bellingham. And I mapped the river one time, just, you know, where it went. And it's always flowing. You can probably hear it now. And yeah, it goes right into the Charles. So it's kind of cool to be part of that drainage basin. You can see it through there. There's Freddy the Frog's home. I'll tell you those stories at some point. I keep mentioning I'm going to tell you stories, so let me get back to that. My daughter, when we used to tuck her in at night, and this is after we discovered these trails back here. So there's the river. I'm going to stop there again. Someone recently put this in, and I'm very thankful to them. That's the source of it up there. Always flowing. And down here. It goes into that valley. Well, I started telling my daughter stories about Freddy the Frog. I won't tell them today, but just tee it up, some of the characters. And there's Martha Moth and Beatrice Butterfly were the original characters. I know I'm using alliterisms, right? Are you coming, Cookie? You're going to sit there and check out the river? And I used to give her like 5-minute stories at night with these characters. I'll show you the witch's tree and everything. That's where Freddy the Frog lived up there. We're pretty close to the end of it. Jordan is the houses just through the trees over there. I'll follow Cookie through here. She knows her way. Let me get up in front of her. She runs good when she's catching up to me. Okay, let me stand over here and call her. Cookie! Oh, there, you caught up to me already. Okay. I think the path we're on now is called Juniper Spur. And when I discovered it, we used to kind of come in down at the bottom there and just kind of hike down. Our house is right up at the top of the hill there. And we just kind of hike down and get onto this path. And then the Boy Scouts carved this one, which is a loop back, which also takes you back to Indian Rock. And we'll do this at some point too. But my neighbor, who comes back here with his dog every once in a while, and let's call him Dr. J, he carved out a path, actually created one, which I'll show you in 1 second here, so you can get to these trails with his dog. And he's a good guy. He comes out with his blower even and cleans it out, and I'll pluck all the leaves, not leaves, sorry, branches, and try to keep it clean also. Now if you cut through here, through these stone fences, lots of stories to come. That path will take you back up to Indian Rock. This one here is really only used by Dr. J, myself for the most part. But this kind of takes the backyards and takes you right to Jordan Road, basically where our house is. You want to come running? Who's the fast doggy? Come on, let's go. Good doggy, good doggy. Oh, look at her go. So we're getting close to the house, so I'll turn it off here. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'm going to post it to YouTube, so subscribe if you like, or give me a like, and maybe tell your friends. Anyone that doesn't have access to come back here and hike for whatever reason, but you want to see these beautiful trails, I hope you enjoy them. And thank you for watching.